in watching through, especially this time of year, there's all these fabulous classrooms and fabulous classroom reveals. I mean, things have really gotten fancy even since I've been in the classroom. And I had this thought though, because in the video that we released today as part of our training, we introduced this idea of teacher tired. And I certainly don't have to explain to you what teacher tired feels like. If you're a teacher, especially of young learners, you know exactly that feeling I'm talking about, where you are just tired, exhausted, overwhelmed. I mean, think about that first day of school. I know some of you may have had your first day this week or previous weeks, or maybe your first day is coming up, or maybe it's not until after Labor Day. But whenever your first day is, just think of all that mental exhaustion of that teacher tired feeling. So in the video that I'm referring to, we talked about this idea of being teacher tired or being the empowered early educator, where you have the power to really transform your classroom and to really connect with your students and to rediscover that joy in teaching. Because we want to bring back the joy. That is why we're here. That is why we do this. We have this joy. And I feel like sometimes being teacher tired, it kind of takes over that joyful feeling. And so I know this is a hard time of year, but we're excited, but it's a lot of tiredness, overwhelmness, anxiety. It can be all of that. But anyway, this picture popped in my head that I want to share. And as I said, this just literally just came to me, so I don't have any fancy graphics. This is literally just me drawing with the markers I had on my desk. But as I talked about, and I'm not even sure if it's backwards for you. I hope it's not. But we have environment. And that is where all we have the classroom reveals and the classroom designs, is that we spend a lot of time, especially this time of the year, focused on our environment and what we can do. And I started to think about it because I realized we focus on our environment because we can control it. So I know a lot of you, you may want everything labeled and you may want it organized. And so we feel like we can have this sense of control over our environment. And then the next thing we do, I'm going to move my Post-it notes, the big reveal here, is we focus on our curriculum. We focus on what are we going to teach? What lessons do we have? Do I need to learn a new curriculum? Do I need to incorporate more STEAM? And we focus on that as well, because that is something we can control. Then we have our students. We certainly can't control them, but before the school year starts, we're focused on what are their names, and we may label everything, and we make all our name tags, and you may assign where everyone puts their stuff. And so we have all the things that we can control. And then very last, in the center of the circle, is you. Now, most educators, and this is just like me, I did this too, we focus on the environment first because that's cute, that's fun, that's going to the Target dollar spot, although things aren't really $1 there, but it's getting all that cute stuff, and because we can control our environment. And then we figure out our lesson plans, what we're going to teach, because we can control that. And then we have our students, and I'm kind of talking about more before they come to school, but we get everything organized and labeled for them. And then we think about ourselves. And that is when we become that tired teacher. Because when we become that tired teacher, we have nothing left for ourselves, nothing left for our own families. And so this is something I think we need to talk about and to bring back that joy. We need to focus on ourselves. And this is being a teacher. We're so used to giving, and we're of service and we want to help everyone. But to be that empowered educator, we have to focus on ourselves. And so I want to challenge you. Here's the challenge. To start, let's start from the inside out. Let's start with us first, and then worry about the students, and then the curriculum, and then the environment. So I challenge you to really stop, even if it's just for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You can set the timer on your phone, and for 2 minutes, just think about what you want to do this school year. What do you want to get out of it? Don't worry about your students. Don't worry about your curriculum. Don't worry about your environment. I know your room's a mess, but it can wait. And for 2 minutes, just think about what's important to you. What values do you treasure? What is going to help bring you joy this school year? Okay, that's it. Just think about you and what you want to get out of the school year for 2 minutes. That's it. And then you can go back to the busyness of everything else. Okay, if you want to follow along, we have our brand new training. As I said, we dive more into this idea of the tired teacher versus being the empowered educator, because that's what we want. And as I said in the beginning, we want to really find that joy again and bring it back into our classroom, because you are in such a unique position that you have these young learners that are so super excited to learn, and they're so curious about learning, that you really have this advantage that you can set this foundation for your young learners so that they can grow up to be whatever they want to be. But you are setting that foundation right now as the empowered educator, and that all starts with you. Okay, I'm going to end this here. If you have any questions or comments about what I've gone over, put them in the comments. Even if you're watching the replay, I'll come back around. Also, I'm going to put the link to our first video so that you can check that out. All right, thank you so much for watching, and happy STEAMing.